don't just want to go into that mindset of, well, I'm broke, I'm always going to be broke because, you know, that's just how everyone around me is, and then just spend money on all the shit that you don't really need and really lose track of what you actually want, and then limit your possibilities, your opportunities, because you don't have money. Like, you don't want that. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I want to share with you 10 ways to save money when you're studying abroad, because I know that finance, you know, is one of the biggest struggles for all of us students. I totally know where you're coming from. Trust me, I've been there. But don't worry, I really hope that those 10 tips are gonna help you, because they've helped me tremendously over the past 3.5 years of studying abroad. So I'm a full-time study abroad student in Scotland. I've also done a semester abroad in Toronto, and I'm currently in the process of also saving some money for post-graduation for all of my plans that I have then. So especially in my final semester, I'm gonna save a lot of money. So I really want to share with you the ways that I do that and that have helped me. Obviously, money is such a big topic, including scholarships and really saving up for study abroad, how much expenses you will have every month, how much everything costs, all of the things. So I go super in depth on all things money, as well as on the entire application process for study abroad, how to choose the right course, everything that you can imagine in my ebook Girls Study Abroad. So if you want to learn more about the ebook and also get a 10% discount, then it is linked down below in the description box. Make sure you check it out if you are enjoying this video, because it's going to go a lot more in depth on what we're going to talk about today. The first tip that I have for you, this is kind of a basic one, but I still think that not enough people do it. Track your expenses. Right? Track them. And by tracking them, I don't just mean looking at what you're spending. I mean literally writing it down, putting it into categories, and really reflecting, right? And adding things up. So this is something I've only started doing last semester. Before that, I was always, I looked at my bank statements and I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. But really, last semester, I made a big overview in Excel, really figuring out all the categories that I'm spending money in and seeing, okay, how much percentage of all of the money coming in is going towards my rent and my food, and where can I save money. So either you also start doing like an Excel spreadsheet, which, by the way, I have a little screenshot of that in my ebook as well. Or you get an app. I know there are a lot of apps where you can track your spendings. What I do at the end of the month, I just go back into this app and then I transfer all the spendings into my Excel sheet, and then I can see it. So no matter if you're studying abroad or anywhere, it's really, really important to be aware. The second tip that I have for saving money, and this is a big one, and it is to meal plan. So this is a huge one, because once you have all of your expenses figured out, you will see that probably most of your money, or a big chunk of money, is going towards your food. And food is really something where you can be really smart and you can save a lot of money, because obviously, with, for example, your fixed costs like your rent or your electricity or your transportation, you might not be able to save money. However, with food, you always can. So what I would recommend you to do is, because I still want you guys to be healthy, and I know that there are very cheap ways to eat, but then they're also not healthy, and I don't think we should sacrifice our health ever, because it's the most important thing. But that also doesn't mean that we can't save money. So what I did to prepare for this semester specifically, by the way, the next video that is coming is going to be my semester prep vlog, where I'm also going to share with you how I prep for meal planning and stuff. But what I did is I looked on Pinterest, and there you can just type in like cheap meal prep meals or something, or cheap vegan meals, right? Or like budget-friendly meals, healthy meals, whatever. Pinterest is literally the best source for that. And really figuring out, okay, what is cheap for me to eat, and then planning that in. And it's really important, again, to plan what you're gonna eat and not just buy really random things and then half of it is gonna go to waste. Really plan your meals. How many days are you gonna eat from this? And then just buying that as well. That's super important. And obviously also then sticking with the foods that are affordable. Like, for example, I always eat oats for breakfast because it's super cheap to eat oats, and it's delicious. Or I do eat a lot of like dishes that are based on like sweet potato or rice, or, you know, vegetables, like things that aren't super expensive, because for example, like obviously like fish or meat, or like a lot of ready-made meals, when you eat all of those things, that can get super expensive. So stick with whatever is most affordable and obviously also healthy for you. The third tip that I have to save money is to meal prep, and this is so important, because I feel like, especially as a student, and I totally get that, because at our uni we have so many places where you can get food. However, I always bring my own lunches, always. There is literally rarely ever an occasion that I would buy lunches, because it's just such a waste of money in my opinion, plus it's also not healthy. So when you meal plan, I highly recommend you guys to meal prep your lunches, so to actually take like a few hours, like twice a week, to actually cook all the foods and then put it into little containers, and then you can always bring it to school or, you know, to work. Like for example now, with my part-time job, I'm often working from like our co-working space, so I also always bring my lunch with me, and that saves so much money and it keeps you healthy. Also, what's a great way always is to have leftovers for dinner and then bring them as lunch or to meal prep them. The fourth way to save money is to invite over friends and cook together at home instead of going out to eat. And that's definitely something that I will implement more this semester as well, because I do love going out to restaurants and coffee shops, but it can get so expensive so quickly, especially when eating out. I don't think like when you have like a coffee here and there that it's super expensive, but if you go out like for an actual meal, that can get super expensive. So what's a lot more fun is to just invite over friends, maybe everyone brings a few ingredients and then you cook together, and that's super fun as well. Like, you know, I love hosting brunches and dinners, and it's super fun. And you can also get super creative, maybe have like themed brunches or themed dinners connected with like watching a nice movie or going out for a walk. You can be super creative and you can have a lot more fun actually than going out to a restaurant. The fifth way to save money when studying abroad is to buy secondhand clothing. So this is obviously not only cheaper, but it's also a lot more sustainable, because what's already made is already there and it doesn't have to be produced. So I right now as a student don't really have the money to spend like on ethical clothing brands, because obviously they're more expensive. That is why I always go for secondhand. So there are apps like Depop, for example, or Kleiderkreisel in Germany, or you just go to like secondhand stores. It's really fun, and it's just as good as, you know, going to a store. Like it's really sustainable and it's cheap. And it's just wonderful. Just do it. I cannot recommend it enough. It's really fun, especially when you have cool like vintage markets or secondhand stores. Like look up on Facebook events. Sometimes in cities they have like vintage fairs or like secondhand fairs, which is super cool. If you're getting any value out of this video at all, then make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also check out the description for my study abroad budget guide, which is a free PDF download where I'm sharing with you my best money saving tips, as well as a budget breakdown and calculation. So this really goes a lot more in depth on what we are talking about in this video, and you can get it for free. Just click the link down below and download. The sixth way to save money is to have cash envelopes, and that is something that I'm gonna try out next semester. I've not tried it out yet because, as I said, I pretty much use my credit card because I can track my expenses. However, for groceries and for coffee shops, because that's where I spend most of my money that I can save, if that makes sense, I want to try out cash envelopes. So what that means is you have like 2 envelopes or however many like buckets you have, and in the beginning of the month you take out the limit that you have. You put it into your envelope, and then, you know, you always pay with cash. If the envelope is empty, then you can't spend anymore, obviously. However, if there is still stuff in there, either you take that into your next month, or, and that's what I'm planning to do, I will put it into my savings envelope. So that's definitely something that I want to try out. There's a really cool YouTube channel here on YouTube, yeah, it's called The Budget Mom, and she does a lot of like cash envelope videos, so check out that video. It's really cool. But if you don't want to do cash envelopes, then at least have like a limit. However, I do realize that with like cards and stuff, it's so much easier to go over limit than if you have cash. So at least that's in my how I work. The seventh way to save money when studying abroad is to have a savings goal. Since I really figured out what my savings goal is, I have made insane progress on my savings goals. I've never done that before because I would definitely say I'm more of a spender rather than a saver. However, since I know I want to do my yoga teacher training and I want to save up for an emergency fund, I have such, like, it's just so much easier for me to actually save money because I'm always thinking, okay, I can now either buy this or I can put it towards my yoga teacher training, right? Because I have like a clear vision. So whatever it is, put yourself a savings goal of like, I don't know, like a trip you want to go on, or I don't know, some kind of experience or something that makes you super hyped up that you really want to do. And then also break down how much money you want to save for that every month, and then put it out of your bank account and put it into a savings envelope. That's how, honestly, that's how I do it, because if it's on my bank account, because I don't have a separate savings account, and if it's on my bank account, then chances are I'm going to spend it. So I take it out and put it into a savings envelope, and that's money put away. And so yeah, have clear savings goals. The eighth way to save money, and this is kind of maybe like a controversial one, or I have to explain a bit more, but don't buy into the whole I'm a student, I'm broke mentality. Let me tell you why. So I feel like this is such a stereotype, and also so many students say it. I'm broke, or students never have enough money, or you know, life is hard, I'm running out of money, blah blah blah. So with that mindset, you're kind of justifying it to yourself that it's okay to run out of money. It's okay to spend all of your money and to not save anything. That's kind of, if you have that mentality, then that's okay. However, if you really want to save money, if you want to be good with money, you have to change that mentality, right? And you have to be like, yeah, saving is super easy for me. I'm a great money manager. You know, I'm a student and I can, you know, go on holiday because I'm an incredible saver and I'm really good with money. You know, kind of change that mindset and don't go into the I am broke, because then that's exactly what's going to happen, because it's okay for you to be broke because you think it's what every student does. The ninth way to save money is to have a wish list and to put everything that you want to buy on that wish list, and don't just buy out of a mood, right? So that's what I always do. If I see something, although I have to say I'm already pretty minimalist, so there's rarely stuff where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to buy this jacket, or I need to buy this piece of tech. Like, it rarely happens, because if I want to buy something, it's usually food or a trip. But what I do is I have like a little notes, a note thing on my phone, and I put it on my wish list. And I leave it there for like a week or 2 weeks or a month, or then by the end of the month when I do my budget overview, and if I have something left, then I might go back to my wish list and think about if I really want to spend that money on that, or if I want to put the leftovers into my yoga teacher training or into that savings goal. And then usually it's putting it into the savings goal, because that's like long-term satisfaction, whereas buying something, it's usually just short-term gratification. Obviously, if you really need something, then that's something different. But I'm just talking about stuff that you think you need, like in the moment, but you don't actually need it. So putting things onto a wish list and just leaving it there, it's just, yeah, that's how I just don't buy things anymore. Because I'm like, I look at the wish list and I'm like, nah, I don't really need that. Like, literally before I filmed this video, this morning I was going through my notes stuff and I deleted my wish list, because I was like, or at least I deleted the things on the wish list, because I was like, yeah, no, it's not as important to me as my yoga teacher training. Okay, and then the final tip, number 10, is to educate yourself about finances. And this is something, oh my lord, this is like a big intention that I have for 2020, is I really want to learn everything about money. I want to be so financially knowledgeable. So what I did, I already now subscribe to a few podcasts about money, and I've also read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is such an incredible book. I highly recommend it. It's so good. So really start following maybe people on social media that share about money, that are like finance gurus, or you know, buy books about it, take courses, watch YouTube videos on budgeting and investing, and just really get out of that students are broke mindset, right? Because that's exactly what's gonna happen. If you don't change that, then you're always also gonna stick to that. And you know, money is also it's just like a resource. You literally have full control over your money. And money is just such an incredible tool to create this lifestyle that you really, really want, right? Because if you want to study abroad, or if you are studying abroad, then you are definitely someone who doesn't want a conventional life. And in order to live an unconventional life, money is a great resource, right? To buy those flights to those destinations, or like me, to do a yoga teacher training, or to go abroad, or to start your own business. For all of that, money is a wonderful resource, right? So you don't just want to go into that mindset of, well, I'm broke, I'm always going to be broke, because, you know, that's just how everyone around me is, and then just spend money on all the shit that you don't really need and really lose track of what you actually want, and then limit your possibilities, your opportunities, because you don't have money. Like, you don't want that, right? So it is really important to change that mindset, to learn about money, and to really view money as something that is a tool for you to create your dream life, right? That is so important to recognize. And for that, you have to learn about money. You have to understand money. So if you enjoyed this video, then you are gonna love my Girls Study Abroad ebook, because I go a lot more in depth on all my best money saving tips. I have case studies from friends who pay their study abroad all by themselves. I go into my personal budget, how much everything costs in Scotland and Canada, and I give a lot of examples. I give you guys advice on getting scholarships and all of the things. So if you want to learn more about that, check out the Girls Study Abroad ebook, and a discount code for 10% will also be down below in the description box. So if you have any more money saving tips, then please feel free to share them down below in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!